Chapter 35 No One POV Past Life 14. Did you guys know the Queen is not well? She's such a wonderful person. I hope nothing happens to her. She has been sick for 3 months. I heard it's getting worse as day passes. She only had tightness, but as time passed, it gradually increased. She fainted yesterday on the kitchen and was immediately taken to the infirmary. The doctor hasn't said anything on her condition. It's been half a year since the ceremony. A month after the crowning ceremony, they married, and Diane was crowned queen. She stole the heart of everyone on the terrain with her love and kindness. She was a queen for everyone to look at. But something went wrong. She had always felt uneasy. She felt weak and sometimes dizzy. She would feel fatigue after simple work. Today, she fainted in the kitchen, and the maids took her to the infirmary. The king was away at one of his meetings. He left the meeting in the middle and made way to the infirmary. What happened? He asked as he saw Wilfred and his wife standing near to the intense care unit. We don't know. She just fainted. The doctor said she is very sick, but needs more time to diagnose. Wilfred said, as the king gulped and nodded in worry for his wife. Hours passed by, and there was no sign of the doctor. When the door to the care unit opened, as if you would jump up before running to the doctor. How is she, doctor? Is she going to be okay? The king asked worriedly. The doctor only looked at the king with a void face before giving out a sigh. I do have good news for you. But once you hear the other one, I don't know if you will consider it good. The doctor said as the king looked at him in worry. Your wife is pregnant, my king. A future heir is going to be born in this kingdom. The doctor said as the king's eyes widened. I'm going to be a father. He asked, shocked, as the doctor nodded. His mind immediately filled with the mind of being a father to his child. He wanted to be nothing like his parents. He wanted to love and give this child a world. He had always dreamed of a happy family who he is determined to protect for the rest of his life. But we have a problem, the doctor said, snapping the king out of his fantasy. The queen is very weak. Her body is weak. I cannot be sure, but bearing a child now may result in complications. The doctor said as the dreams he made up moments ago shattered like broken glass. What is wrong with her, doctor? Why is she so weak? I asked as the doctor frowned. We have no idea. The tests we made came out with different problems. She has a different physique from what we have learned. I will do more tests to be sure, the doctor said as I nodded. He bowed down before going back to the care unit. What should we do? Wilfred asked as the king looked at his friend helplessly. I don't know, but I can't give up, he said as the other two nodded. The doctor said her physique is different. Isn't it better if she gets some kind of treatment from a demon hospital? It's a big risk. We have the mother and child. It's not wise to take chances. Serene, Wilfred's wife said as the king nods. You're right. I need to take her to Serene soon. He said that meant to not lose her. But it is unsafe for making her travel. It will take more energy. Wilfred said as the king nodded. That is why I'm going to go there and bring the doctor here. As Yvier said, as he began to walk out. He no longer bore the restriction made by the Lord Vamer, so he is free to go anywhere outside the terrain. But before he could walk through the door, Wilfred grabs hold of his arm. This time, I will not allow you to go there alone, he said, as the younger looked at his best friend before giving a small smile. Thank you, he said, as Wilfred nodded with an equally gentle smile. Inform us if anything happens," he said to Serene as she nodded. As they walked to the porter room, Wilfred looked at Azivio, worried. "Should we call back the second attack we made on the obsidian?" Wilfred asked as the king shook his head. "It's no use. The first attack has already caused them a lot of damage. They will attack us if we don't attack first," Azivio said, as Wilfred sighed and nodded. 6 months ago, Azivio broke the peace treaty and attacked the White Wizards. He needed a power stone to replace the broken one. He didn't know much about the power stone, but with the demon stuck inside the stone, he knew it was a big risk if that stone remains intact with the land. His only ways was to replace the power stone, and his best option of the land that correspond powers to his was the obsidian terrain. The first attack was simple. Their king was in the human world wooing some common girl there. The attack left severe damage, but we failed to get their power stone. They have planned a second attack, but it was in a few days. The king of Obsidian has now acquired the throne, so the battle this time won't be as easy. But he needed the power stone, or else anything will happen to the land or his beloved wife. He couldn't let that happen. "Ready?" Wilfred asked as he opened the portal and tallied the coordinates to the word Syrian. "Ready," the king said, taking a deep breath before entering the portal to the world of demons. Chapter 36. No One POV. Past Life 15. Finding the doctor in the demon world wasn't hard. What was hard was trying to convince him to come to the train. "Please, I beg of you. She is very sick, and she is having our baby in her womb. I promise nothing will come to you. After the treatment, I personally will bring you back here safe and sound." Azivio backed the doctor, throwing his pride out the window. He didn't care about anything now. He needs to save his wife, his love, and his precious baby. Wilfred, on the other hand, looked at the king with worry and sadness. He had never seen his friend so broken and desperate. He wanted to save her. He will go in any length. Wilfred noticed how his hand shakes. He knew the king was trying to contain his anger to the doctor. He knew it won't be long until the last thread breaks and he will lash on the doctor. "What can't you understand? She was to be your queen. I thought you all liked her." The king shouted angry as the doctor flinched and moved back. "I'm sorry, Your Majesty, but I have never stepped out of our world," he said as the thread breaks. Azivio's eyes shined silver before he moved forward. But before he could lash on the doctor, Wilfred put up a protective shield around the doctor. "Azzy, calm down. He's not the only doctor around," he said as Azivio turned to him. "We have been rejected by all doctors we came across. None of them wanted to help," he shouted angrily as his eyes glowed even more silver. "I will help." Suddenly, a voice came from behind, making Azivio turn his head and look at the entrance shocked. It was a demon, in full form. He isn't converted to human form like others. He had his shaped black horn curved and shaped like that of a bull. His fangs were sharp, and his eyes were bright blue with black borders. "Dr. Mish," the other doctor said as he smirked. "Still as coward as ever," Dr. Mish said as he walked to the other. "I thought you admired the queen. I have heard you and the other doctors talk so highly of the princess, but now you all are refusing," Dr. Mish said with a snicker before turning to the king. "The princess was dear and near to me. I will give my life to save her," the doctor said, bowing to the king. "Thank you." The king finally smiled, relieved. As they made back to the palace, Xavier and Wilfred kept glancing at the smiling doctor. They feel like they could trust him, but there's also a shivering feeling when it comes to him. They noticed how all the demons in the village moved away, whispering in fear at the doctor. They can't be blamed, though. The demon doctor always had a smile in his face, but that smile was cold and mysterious. Don't be alarmed by the people showing weird glances at me. I haven't done anything yet. For some reason, they fear me. The demon doctor said, as the other two slowly nodded. Princess Diane is the only one who doesn't see me as a threat. He used to come and visit me always. Most times she would be injured by the devil, and I would treat her wound. He said, as the other two nodded. She was precious when she was born. I knew she would be destined for something, but I didn't know her destiny was to be the bride of the devil. I was happy when she found you. She told me a lot about you. I'm very impressed with you. You treat her good, and she is happy with you. He continued, as we walked to the place where they created the portal. Thank you for doing this, Doctor. I will make sure you are given the utmost care in the palace, and I promise to bring you back here safe and without a scratch. Xavier said, as the demon doctor smiled, picking a glance at now happy Prince. I will do anything for the princess. Besides, you're the one who defeated the devil and set us free from the misery. I was here since the beginning of the world, he said, as the other two tensed. Do not be alarmed. I was just the first creation on the Serene. There are many like me. The selected few of us who are able to impress the devil gained immortality. They become the Elder Council's members, he said, as the other looked at him, shocked. So, you are an elder? Wilfred asked, as the doctor shook his head. No, I refused the offer. I wanted to continue my life living as a doctor who takes care of the weak and injured. But unfortunately, I didn't think of the fact that normal demons would consider me in fear, he said, as the other two nodded. Will you be able to save her? Xavier asked, as the doctor looked at him. I cannot say that unless I see her, but I promise I will do my best to save the princess, he said with an assuring smile.